closing speaker for today is a class favorite, Fink. Nick is the kind of person that performs a rap song called Scat during lunch, tells the whole senior class about the time he had an accident in his pants, and amazingly improvs a whole 3-minute song about red hot chili peppers that was actually good. Once he found himself in improvising, singing, and performing, there was no more predicting what Nick was going to do next. And there definitely was no stopping him from doing his thing. Nick will attend Scottsdale Community College next year while studying film and theater. Nick Fink, everyone.
Am I good to drink a water first? Well, congrats, seniors. You've made it to the closing speech. When I first sat down to write my speech, I was trying to find a story I could use to convey a message. I remembered a story my grandpa had once told me when I was younger, and I feel it works well. So, without further ado, the story of the duck and the chicken. Keep in mind this is a true story. Once upon a time, there was a duck and a chicken. They were born on the same day at about the same time. But after these two birds were born, they became best friends. They went to bird school together, and as they got older, they stayed close. And yes, sometimes they did drift from one another, but they always found their way back to each other. One evening, the duck, he called up the chicken and just asked if he wanted to hang out. Of course he did. They were best friends. "What should we do?" the chicken asked. "Well, I was thinking maybe we could go jump on the lily pads." "Oh, I'm not sure," said the chicken. To which the duck responded, "Come on, don't be a chicken." And with that, they got to the lily pad field, and the duck said, "You go first." The chicken walked up to the lily pads and jumped onto the first one, and the second, and so on. The duck followed. They were having a great time until the chicken saw some kids skipping rocks, and one was heading right at the duck. Trying to save his friend, the chicken yelled desperately, "Duck!" The duck evaded the shot and ran home. The chicken did the same. These birds shared many more of these experiences until it was time for them to migrate. They'd been given different migrating assignments and would be separated. They said their goodbyes, cried, hugged, and waddled away. 3 bird years later, they saw each other and immediately started laughing. Then they hugged. Just in that moment, they remembered everything they could about the times they had had together and the friendships they had made. They had been and would always be good friends. The end. Now, there are many hidden messages in this story, such as your friends are always there for you, grandpas tell good stories, and you shouldn't let your friends get hit by rocks. But the main theme in this story is that they never forgot each other. They never forgot the past. And I don't think any of us should ever forget the past. Along with looking for a story, I look for a quote. I ran into a bunch saying, "Forget the past and live for the now. Move on and leave the past behind you," but those quotes have it wrong. I mean, I don't ever want to forget South High. I don't ever want to forget these past 18 years. But most of all, I don't want to forget you guys. I mean, the great times we've had, the friendships we've made. I mean, everyone here has had that moment where you're just standing there and you realize that you're having the greatest time of your life and you're with people that you love. Forget? How could you ever want to forget that? So, I guess what I'm saying is that in 10 years, when it's time for our reunion, I want all of us to waddle back here like the duck and the chicken. And I want us to be able to laugh at something that we remembered, like they did. And if you can't, Well, then I guess this speech didn't do what it was supposed to. Thank you.